they're oftentimes very narcissistic, and that makes my life easier. I started figuring out how to interview a narcissist to get them to talk. And so I always it was always presumptuous that they were narcissists. If they're, again, if I'm saying I have a belief system, and if you're outside my belief system, you're wrong. That's just inherently a narcissistic, gene almost. But so I always kind of walked in assuming that they were jihadists, but um, I used rapport, to try to affirm whether or not they were a narcissist. And again, back to that egoism. So that's very common for these guys. Even if someone's kind of marginalized and they get brought into the group, they start getting pumped up and hey, you're with us, so you're right, and all those people are wrong. They call the dunya. Those are the kind of non-believers in society. And so even those kind of marginalized folks, the introverts, the shy, they would bring them in and start making them believe that they were all that. And so narcissism was definitely part of it. And a lot of times, kind of the profile was that I was wrong, and I was very comfortable with that because that told me where they were as far as the ideology. And so again, they were on the profile very black and white in their belief system. So, if you and I are talking about things and I say, hey, what do you think about, this topic, political topic? And hey, I believe this. And I say, I believe this, but hey, we can meet in the middle and kind of meet in the gray area, and we're comfortable with that. So these folks are not that way. They're very black and white, and that comes a lot from the radicalization process. So as far as that goes, I always saw it as kind of like borderline personality disorder. They believe everything is right or wrong, black or white, good or evil, and so that's part of the profile as well.